On set and on stage, department heads are often in charge of orienting new employees. Maybe you're working on a series or a feature. Maybe you're in auditions for the upcoming season or looking to hire painters and carpenters. You might be bringing new people onto the project, starting a new season, or taking the show to a new location this week. As someone in a supervisory position, it's important to know your responsibilities for safety and the key points to be conveyed to your team. What is this video about? Well, young and new workers need special attention because they're at more risk of injury than their experienced colleagues. This video will cover the core information required by law to be conveyed to a new or young worker, effective ways to communicate the necessary info, and tips for easy record keeping. I know you don't have a lot of time, so let's make this as quick and painless as possible. Who are new and young workers? The short answer is everyone. In the motion picture and performing arts industries, every new show, every new location, every new hire requires a safety orientation. Legislation requires all employers ensure workers under 25 or those new to the worksite are given a health and safety orientation and training specific to his or her workplace before they begin their job. While orientation is identified as the employer's responsibility by WorkSafe BC, it's the responsibility of every supervisor to comply with these regulations. If you're the direct supervisor of a new or young worker, you're the one responsible for ensuring the worker receives a specific health and safety orientation. Now, this may seem challenging, but fear not. ActSafe wants to help make this process easier and more adaptable to the ever-changing demands of the performing art and motion picture industries. So, let's look at the key information that must be conveyed to all new and young workers. As the person in charge, it's your responsibility that all new and young workers are given a health and safety orientation. ActSafe has created a simple, straightforward guide to help you provide the key points of a new worker orientation. These points are all laid out in the Young and New Workers info sheets available online and from the ActSafe office. All workers and supervisors have a right to work in a safe environment. Workers must protect themselves and those they work with against harm. These key points must be conveyed during orientation. Employees are your eyes and ears on set and in workshops. By keeping the lines of communication open, it strengthens your safety program and builds confidence in the team. Workers need to feel they can report safety issues to their supervisor without repercussion. So when does all this info need to be conveyed? And how can you communicate it clearly and quickly? Time is money, right? Setting a strong foundation from the outset makes this process easier down the line. PMs, TDs, department heads, ADs, and extras coordinators need to be informed of the new and young workers' orientation regulation and instructed on how to give an orientation. Sharing of experiences and feedback amongst the team will enable each company or production to develop a process that works well for them. New and young worker orientation can be given to all workers in a group at the start of the day, at call, or at the beginning of rehearsal, and should cover topics relevant to the call in sight. Orientation and documentation of workers arriving for late calls is important. It's helpful for GMs, PMs, or production offices to prepare a package for department heads during pre-production, providing an overview of orientation and sufficient copies of orientation checklists for the duration of the production. In film and TV, department heads can use a copy of the checklist each day, date it, sign it, and file it. When orienting groups of workers who will not be listed on the daily progress report, circulate a sign-in sheet and keep it on file. In theater and the performing arts, the process is a little more straightforward. As new staff, cast, and crew come on board, new and young worker orientation follows a more standard format. However, it's important to remember that a new location, like in a touring production, necessitates safety training for all involved workers. Individual orientations are only required for workers who haven't been part of the group orientation. All department heads should ensure day calls or late arrivals get oriented to their department. In film, ADs orient the cast. Extras coordinators orient extras. All departments who may be working at their own shops should follow the same procedures. At each new location, the safety meeting at call should be covered on the daily progress report or recorded in a show report. The safety meeting acts as the orientation as long as all relevant items are covered. Grab a pen, because now we're heading to... Here we come to the crux of the matter, new locations. A new location requires a new safety orientation. At the start of the workday at a new location, everyone working that day should be reminded of the following key safety points. And finally, one of the key elements to remember overall is documentation. Oh, I know, who has time? Well, don't worry. Most of the elements are already there. It's just a matter of keeping it on file. Providing effective orientation and training is the best way to prevent accidents. As an employer or supervisor, you're responsible for ensuring workers are prepared for the job before they start working and when the work environment changes. Even an experienced worker will require a new orientation if circumstances or locations change or new hazards develop. Act Safe is your resource for developing a strong and simple safety culture. We want to help you keep your set safe, so don't hesitate to contact us with questions or concerns. I'm Bob Fraser. Stay safe.